Hi, welcome to 4 Minutes of Film with me, Rhianna. Today I'm reviewing Transcendence, Tracks and The Other Woman, so let's get started with The Other Woman. Cameron Diaz plays Carly, who's going out with Mark, and one night she turns up uninvited on his doorstep and meets his wife. They then together go on a sort of revenge mission and on the way bump into another one of his girlfriends.
I just can't believe you'd lie to me. You must hate me so much right now.
I don't hate you at all. I got all of that out of my system with that one.
How can you be so amazing? You could be friends with your husband's mistress.
Yeah, it's like a dream come true.
Ignore her. She's just working through some stuff right now. She's kind of troubled. But you smell amazing. What is that?
I think it's just sweat.
First of all, I loved Cameron Diaz's outfits in this film because they were incredible and she looked gorgeous in every single one of them. And also, she's kind of back on form. She was genuinely quite funny. She's kind of playing the straight woman to Leslie Mann's slightly crazy, limpet-like character who just goes on a complete meltdown when she finds out about her husband. She gets very, very irritating, as she does in quite a lot of the films that she's been in with Judd Apatow. It did descend into quite childish slapstick, and the revenge tactics were those quite similar to the ones in Matilda. Nicki Minaj was a great surprise as the sassy secretary, so 3 stars for The Other Woman, not as terrible as it looks. And next up is Transcendence. Johnny Depp plays Will Castor, who's in the middle of creating an artificial intelligence when he's poisoned by a radical anti-technology group. So his wife manages to upload his brain to create a sort of AI of his former self.
So these are state-of-the-art quantum processors. You won't find faster computational power anywhere else in the world.
Good evening, Dr. Tagger.
Seeing old faculty pictures of you.
Good evening, Donald Buchanan.
It knows me.
Of course it does. DMV records, social media.
Penn, tell Agent Buchanan about yourself.
I am PIN, a physically independent neural network invented by Dr. Will Castor.
Can you prove that you are self-aware?
That's a difficult question, Dr. Tagger. Can you prove that you are?
As you saw there, it's got an extremely impressive cast. Paul Bettany, Morgan Freeman, Johnny Depp, Rebecca Hall. And with a film that has that much gravitas, you feel that it should have a lot more potential. And although the story, the message that we've seen 100 times before, technology is bad, it can take over the world, we get it, I felt that they could have done a lot more with that, and it gets a little bit repetitive and dull. Although a decent film, a bit of a slog to get to the end. So 3 stars for Transcendence, and finally it's Tracks. So this is the true story of Robin Davison, who goes on an epic trek across the Australian desert with 4 camels and a dog for company. And she gets sponsored by the National Geographic, who send a photographer every few months to track her journey.
Maybe try some with the hat. The white really pops against the red of the rock. And don't worry, I'm shooting on a long lens, so it compresses the distance. It looks like you're standing right in front of it. Great. Okay, maybe a tiny smile.
What about honest journalism?
Hey, camel lady!
A friend of mine, David Burnett, says the greatest photographs are motivated by human feeling.
Are we done?
Almost. Oh no, I thought the hat was good. See you tomorrow.
It's very easy nowadays to see where films spend all their money, and it's normally on one massive scene. In Tracks, there's no tiny individual moment that really stood out, but just lots of these little minute experiences which made the whole film incredibly immersive. Robin herself obviously prefers her own company and is very stubborn and determined. Not necessarily a particularly likeable character, but Mia Wasikowska, who plays her, really brings her to life and makes her a much more empathetic character. So 4 stars for Tracks. Do go and see this one, it's a real gem. And next week, I will be reviewing Bad Neighbours with an interview from Zac Efron, so click here to catch that next week.